lot of God things. And any of you that know her, if you don't know her, get to know her a little bit. I so appreciate her phone call to our office and say, hey, I have something else I'd like to do. And I watched the video, and I'm like, okay, let's set it up. But I want to do it on a youth night and invite everybody else. So this is Mary Jo, and then I'm going to just ask her, I met this young lady, and I can't remember her name already, so I'm just going to let you just share with everybody what you're about and the people that are with you tonight, okay?
Thank you so much. This is, I have to say, a dream come true, because I have wanted to be able to share what we are truly about and what's going on in our ministry. This evening I have Lauren Van Cott. She's our coordinator for our human trafficking. Lauren, you want to stand up? And we have Tina Adams, who's also one of our interns. You can stand up, Tina. She's here with us this evening. Another part of our team is Nick, and he's in the back, and I believe he's videotaping. So it's just such a pleasure, and so many friendly faces, and just love it here at Bethel. I know that the Lord is with all of us this evening, and He has a wonderful opportunity for us to share what is going on and to raise awareness. I don't want to get too close. You know, it's unbelievable when you think about what this topic is tonight, human trafficking. You've heard a lot about it. You know, it's in the news. It's something that people think that's happening somewhere else, but it really is happening in our own backyard. But I want to give you a little bit of history about Angels of Mercy and why I started this organization with my husband and what's brought us to this next level of going out and raising awareness for human trafficking. Angels of Mercy was started about 7.5 years ago, and it was birthed in my heart. I have to say, back when I was in my 20s, because I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and I say survivor because I carry none of those scars from my first marriage, and have been, amen. God is so good.
Hallelujah.
He took that right off of me. It took a while. I think I buried it for a few years, but, you know, it's totally gone, and I've been married now 32 years to a wonderful man, and I have 2 children, 2 grandchildren, a wonderful son-in-law, and I'm very, very thankful. And as time would have it, when I was in my late 30s, well, no, I would say I was almost done 50 because I'm 61 now, so yes. Well, one of our daughters was going through a really, really tough time. She had been through a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about tonight. And that's what propelled my husband, Joe, and I into starting Angels of Mercy. Our mission is really to, and our focus is to help achieve freedom, dignity, and restoration for women to achieve this in their lives, no matter what they've been through. And we know that with God, everything is possible.
Amen.
He is able to turn our mess into our message, our test to our testimony. You know, if we've been a victim, He can turn it into victory. And He is an amazing, amazing God. And He's done wonderful, wonderful things in my life, and I'm sure many of your lives here. We all have a story. We've all been through a lot of things, I'm sure, or know someone that has, but it doesn't mean that we can't move forward because His grace and mercy are new each day. He's the God that will meet us right where we are, and it doesn't matter. He'll meet you home, He'll meet you on a street, He'll meet you wherever you are, and He can lift you right out of that pit that you're in and move you forward. Your support and dedication to coming here tonight really means a lot as we go through and share this. As I said, my daughter's been through a lot in her life, and this really is, I would say, because of her, as I did say, and our vision from day one has been to have a home for healing where women and girls can come to heal from trafficking, from abuse, where they can come and stay free of charge and heal through the unconditional love of Christ. And you'll hear more about that later when we talk a little bit more about our Stop the Trafficking and the Cycle Run Walk, which takes place in September, because the proceeds of this go into a fund for that home for healing, and we just know that God will bring us there. When we started Angels of Mercy, we did so to raise funds for a residential treatment center, Mercy Ministries of America. And we just knew one day we would have a home. But as God would have it, He took us baby steps. You know how that goes. And so we did our first fundraiser one year, and then the next year it was time to add something else. So now, as a result of that second year, we now partner with about 20 different shelters and organizations within the Rochester area with our annual coat and clothing drive, and help women and children here in Rochester daily. And when we moved into our office at 692 North Whitten Road, we opened up the Butterfly Boutique, where we welcome women of all walks of life, out of prison. I don't care if it's a domestic violence situation, if you are in rehab, whatever. You can come to us and receive clothing free of charge. It's freely given to us, and we freely give it to you because we want you to know that you're precious, and we want you to feel great because you are a daughter of the Most High King, and He wants to clothe you in garments of grace and love. And that's what our boutique is all about. So we welcome you to come. We have information on our back table about that, and that is really very important to us because we have a lot of women that come in that are downtrodden, but when they come and receive what we have for them, they feel uplifted, and we see transformation begin and take place right before our very eyes, and that is so important. So if you know anybody that's in need of anything, give us a call. We'd love to have you, and we don't need a written referral. A phone call or an email suffices, and we'll go with that. But I want to tell you a little bit about, you probably wonder, how did I ever, or our ministry, get interested in the topic of even sex trafficking? Well, you've heard me talk at church if you come here before, and we have a group of ladies that are very involved. If any of you have made dresses for Dress a Girl around the world or made dolls, please raise your hands, because we do have teens and women that have done this. But about almost 4 years ago, I heard about this program, and I brought it to our board, and I said, whether you want to do this or not, I'm going to do this, because these dresses help protect young girls in foreign countries and in our own from sex trafficking. You may wonder how. How does that happen? Well, little girls that are wearing torn and tattered clothes are viewed as having no value or self-worth. And so they are picked up and trafficked as young as 2, 3, 4, 5 years of age in other countries. The mean age for human trafficking in our country is between 12 and 14, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But making a dress, one dress, can make a difference in the life of a little girl. So that really has taken on a life of its own. My goal in the beginning, when I got together with a few friends, was let's make 100 dresses for Dress a Girl. Well, as of about a month and a half ago, we have sent out from New York State, because we are the New York State ambassadors for Dress a Girl. We sent out over 100,000 dresses to help change 100,000 lives. Now, if that's not a God thing, come on, what is? So it's just amazing. We have over 40 groups. Lauren's very instrumental in going out and starting new groups. Gail has been wonderful. Many of the women here, they go and help. And Carmelina, so many of you have been instrumental in the Dress a Girl program. So we're very, very happy with that. And then, as God would have it, I was sitting in my office a little more than 2 years ago, and I felt another tug at my heart, and He was really telling me, I remember right where I was sitting, and He said, Mary Jo, it's time to do more. You have to do something to help stop the trafficking now, and that's what we're doing. So I came up with the name Stop the Trafficking and the Cycle. And the cycle, it is a cycle, because if anybody's ever been in an abusive situation, you really don't feel that you're worthy of anything better. So what do? Many times you'll turn to drug, alcohol, maybe prostitution, self-harm. There's a lot of that going on. You have low self-esteem. A lot of people have tried to commit suicide. A lot of them. I have my own sister who is a victim of domestic violence. She passed away 3 years ago. So our family has been touched by every single thing. But the message is, we want to equip you tonight so that you can go out and you can understand what really is going on outside the walls here, and be ready to see the signs and everything. So I thank you. We're going to get started with a presentation, because if you know me, I could talk forever, and we're not going to do that. So perceptions. Let's talk about perceptions. Perceptions. It's really how we see something. If I'm going too fast for you, tell me, okay? We form our perceptions based on the information that we are given or the information we assume about someone or something. Sometimes our perceptions are right, and they can help to keep us out of trouble if we perceive there is danger. But sometimes our perceptions are wrong, and they can have the opposite effect. For many, people think pimps are cool, that they have lots of money, nice cars, jewelry, fur coats, involved in the hip-hop industry, and so on. We also tend to think that they have a lot of women in their life because they are just plain cool. But that's not true. Our society has come to believe that the phrases pimpin' or pimped out mean to make something better or cooler. Pimps are certainly glorified in the music industry and media today, and Pimp is, as an example, Pimpin' All Over the World by Ludacris and Pimp by 50 Cent. Your perception of a pimp is probably someone who isn't scary or threatening, but if that's what you think, you are truly wrong. When someone is tricked or forced into performing sex acts for food, money, or shelter, we call that sex trafficking. The trafficker is the person that's in charge, the abuser. No kid wants to sell their body for sexual acts, but traffickers are very manipulative, and they know exactly how to convince the kids to do anything that they want. Every year, pimps recruit thousands of young people, and mostly girls, into the life of prostitution. And every year in the United States, about 300,000 children are taken into this life of sex trafficking. Excuse me, my throat's a little dry. In order to understand sex trafficking, we have to understand what the victims are, who they are, and what their life may be. You probably think that this could never happen to you, but it can. That no guy could ever convince your friends or a family member to sell their body for sex. Before you dismiss this as something that's never going to happen to you, let's hear the story of two young girls who were chosen specifically to be groomed for a life in prostitution. We will see how the trafficker recruited them, manipulated them, and brainwashed them into doing what he wanted them to do. I'd like you to meet Brianna and Lacey.